Hey everybody, today we're talking about the G.I. Joe Classified Series Tunnel Rat figure, which is one that I'm very excited to get. Tunnel Rat being a character that was introduced in the G.I. Joe movie, a movie that I absolutely love. And this is a character that I absolutely love. I love this sort of scrappy, salty character that Tunnel Rat is. So I'm very, very excited to get it in the Classified Series. First off, taking a look at the box, we get the digital render with him all loaded up with his gear. He's got his night vision, he's got his flashlights, he's got his revolver, he's got his Joe Pro, he's got everything. I mean, this guy is very, very heavily geared up, which is, often discussed that maybe being somebody that's crawling around in tunnels and sewers and stuff, maybe he's got too much gear, but maybe it's not enough. But it's probably too much. The digital render, as usual, I have no idea why there's a bell in a tunnel. I don't know why he's in a tunnel. Like, I don't know why he's in a tunnel with train tracks either. I'm sure there's sort of a reference. I don't know what it is. Up in the corner, of course, we get the loadout of what we're going to get in the box accessory-wise. Then we get the art. And this art is very nice. It's very clean. The figure looks really nice. I mean, I love the camouflage face paint, which we're gonna see on the figure as well, but they've done a really good job with the art on this one. I quite like it. We get the blue digital sort of computer and a computer image on the side there, number 83, the QR code, as well as the 4 icons for his specialty. The specialties are called out again on the back. And then we get the full box contents, the figure, as well as all of the accessories. Tunnel Rat's a little shorter. He is 6 inches tall, or 152 millimeters. And then we get a couple call outs for specific details that we're going to see on the figure. Specifically the pouch, and then the icon on his shoulder, the rat with a flashlight, which I think is quite a funny logo and quite unique. I don't remember that being on his shoulder in the vintage figure. It may have been there. Mine might have just been rubbed off. Or it's entirely possible that at that scale, I just had no idea what it was. Some legalese on the bottom of the back, as well as the bottom of the box. We get the art, the full length of the other side, as well as number 83 for those keeping track. Let's get him out of the box. All right, so here's Tunnel Rat out of the box. It is a really, really good looking figure. The color palette is really nice. It's a muted color palette. You know, the green is not as bright as we've seen. The pants are just gray. There's browns, a couple shades of gray. But it looks really, really good. It's a little bit unique in terms of the color palette as well, which I like. And some of the details are different than what we've seen from other G.I. Joe figures. A couple very quick nitpick complaint. You can see he's a bit of a bobblehead. There's a loose, the neck is a little bit loose, which I'm okay with. It's not really going to affect, the posing or the sculpt or anything like that. But when I'm sort of messing around with it, it's a little bit loose, which is kind of funny. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that or not. I'm going to heat it up, pop it off, heat it up again, pop it back on, see if it kind of resets itself at all. The only other thing that I'm a little bit annoyed with is, getting the guy out of the box and sort of getting him just kind of settled in and sort of checking things out. The bullet belt bandolier kind of falls off. It feels too big. I feel like this is the same bandolier that we've seen for a couple other figures before, with bigger torsos, and it stays on them a lot better. This one, it just, with all the other stuff that's on here, it's a great figure, but there's a lot going on. You got the bandolier, you've got his holster across his chest there for his revolver, you've got the scarf. There's just too much stuff competing for space on the torso. And it's not impossible, but it's a little bit difficult to get everything to kind of settle and sit. And that may annoy some people. I We'll be interested to see, like, once I get some of the accessories loaded on, maybe that settles down some of the movement. Because once we get that backpack on, once we get a satchel on, things like that, I think maybe things will just sort of sit and settle into place. But on that note, the bullet bandolier looks really nice. It's a sort of silver gray with a dark gray, uh, deco on it. The holster looks really good. It's got a grenade up on the top here, as well as a Joe Pro on his shoulder. The scarf in dark gray matches the bandana. And his ammunition pouch, the magazine pouches on his legs sit a little bit differently than what we've seen on previous figures that have had these. Can't remember if anybody's had magazines, but they sit a little further forward. And then the knife sheath on his thigh there as well. He's got the full length pants with the boot just exposed at the bottom. This is kind of what I wanted for Chuckles. I kind of wanted a full-length pant with this boot sort of exposed at the bottom. But it's not the end of the world. Chuckles is an amazing figure. Check that video out. I already did that one. And it is available now if you want to watch that. It's a little bit longer because I did it live. But anyway, regardless, moving on. The camo paint on the arms as well as the face looks really, really good. It looks good. That kind of tiger stripe paint job that the vintage figure had. And the little icon on his shoulder, the little tunnel rat icon on his shoulder looks really good as well. The rolled up sleeve is great. They've even added a little detail of a flap to sort of close that sleeve off. Anyway, there's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. First up, the backpack, and the vintage tunnel rat was definitely known for his very, very big, oversized backpack. So this is very much in that vein. Works quite well size-wise compared to the vintage. Then, of course, we have the over-the-shoulder bag with explosives and things of that nature. This thing is just cast in a brown plastic, but there is plenty of texturing, plenty of detail in the sculpt. So that looks really good. As I said, I'm curious to see how this interfaces and interacts with the other stuff that he's got on there. We get a knife with a painted blade, which is going to go on his thigh. We get the night vision goggles, which is an interesting addition. The vintage figure definitely did not have these, but those are pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as lighting in the cave, we also get 2 of his little torches or flash lights, if you will, depending on sort of where you live, what kind of what you call these things. Now these plug into the backpack. More on that later, because these are still very, very small. They're bigger than the vintage ones, but they're still very, very small. They got that hit of metallic green paint on there, which is nice. This has the metallic green paint as well on the night vision, so that's similar in terms of color. Then we get the little revolver. I don't know, specifically what revolver this is, or which revolver this is meant to be, but it seems small. Then, of course, we get the big ol' weapon, which does seem to be the right size to me. This is unique to Tunnel Rat. This is, it looks similar to a couple that we've gotten before, but it is not. It is indeed a unique one. Mine is, of course, bent. That being said, a little bit of heat, when I warm the figure up, he's going to be perfectly good to go. It's got a nice tripod on the front there. The tripod's pretty cool because as you sort of pull it out, it's on an angle. You can sort of see there. So as the leg comes down, it goes out as well. So it's not just coming straight down. It's a pretty cool design. It's well done. And this thing looks awesome. Now, like I was saying, maybe it's just me, because when I kind of compare the two of these, the handles aren't that far off. So maybe it's just almost like an optical illusion. The smaller revolver seems smaller. This seems more in scale, but maybe they're both in scale and I just don't know what I'm talking about. There's a couple hits of that green paint on there as well. It looks really, really good. Apart from it being not straight out of the box, it looks really, really good. This also comes with a little ammunition canister. Those bullets are a little more silver than the bullets on the bandolier. Now, it would have been nice if these matched those or vice versa, but that's kind of a detail that I think I can probably live with. So a pretty cool loadout, like I said, a very vintage inspired loadout. The really the only thing that's probably different is the night vision goggles, and that's probably just down to you know, they just didn't think to include that in the 1980s figure. Anyway, let's get this guy all geared up. So here we have Tunnel Rat all geared up. He looks great. I mean, there's a ton of stuff, like I said, on this figure. It's a little bit nitpicky to kind of get everything to fit, to work together. As I expected, once everything's on there, it works pretty well. Things kind of settle down a little bit. The pouch, you know, the over-the-shoulder bag did not help. It really just made it more complicated. What did help was the backpack. Putting the backpack on kind of sandwiches everything together against Tunnel Rat's back, allowing it to sort of sit in place a little bit better. Now, I said that I was going to mention this. The flashlights sit really high in the backpack. This little spot here is where they plug in. They sort of nestle into the center of the backpack pretty well. They're pretty secure, but I'm a little bit surprised that they don't drop down a little bit further. That's, you know, again, just a small little detail that I think, you know, should have maybe been corrected. But other than that, the figure looks absolutely fantastic. He, you know, suits this much gear. This is the Tunnel Rat that we know and love. You know, this is the vintage figure that you know, that I at least grew up with. One of my favorites, absolutely. And the figure does not disappoint. So I'm very, very happy to get this guy in the collection, and I would strongly recommend this figure to everybody else as well. You know, the accessories are fantastic. It does take a minute to get them all set up, but once they're on there, they're good to go. And you know, you're not gonna lose these flashlights. They do stay in there pretty well. But anyways, I picked up Tunnel Rat, as I do most of my classified figures, from eCollectibles.ca. Shout out to Mike at eCollectibles.ca for always helping me get figures that I want, whether that's classified or Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Mythic Legions, or whatever. So hit up eCollectibles.ca if you need to get yourself a Tunnel Rat, and like I said, I would strongly recommend it. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss out on new videos, please hit that bell icon to get notifications on new videos. Until next time, bye-bye.